Welcome back to Soul Reaver. We continue our journey to collect a bunch of glyphs, and I'm not alone again. Vicissitude is joining me once again.
Yo!
So...
we're back in the Lake of the Damned.
Yes. I don't remember why did I start here, because there was no need for that. But now we are going to the Silenced Cathedral again to get a bunch of stuff. Not just the sound glyph, but also another power-up, and it's the first Eldritch Energy power-up. And I already said that we already spoke about this, but yeah, I did not mention it on the recording itself, on video, so now I tell it to you guys. I have recorded this a lot of times. I've tried to record this for a total of 7 times, and this is the 4th time I'm playing through this entire section. So there is no incompetence in this video whatsoever. The biggest challenge, the biggest intrigue for me was whether I would manage to record it all in under 30 minutes, and as you can see, I recorded it in under 23.
Yeah, just barely though.
Yeah, but still this part...
This is not a speed run.
Yeah, this part is essentially a speed run or a walkthrough. And this is how you use the fire glyph. And the fire glyph is pretty much the only glyph that will ever be used, because it's the most useful one. Which is funny.
Yeah, I also get the feeling that some of these glyphs were probably supposed to be in cut areas. Like the Force glyph would probably tie into the telekinesis of the Tyrell clan.
No.
That kind of thing?
I think it will... No. The glyphs are where they are supposed to be, where they always were supposed to be, but the glyphs, with the exception of the Force glyph, they were supposed to correspond to elemental Reavers, which were eventually cut out from Soul Reaver.
Oh, that was
it.
Okay.
So we would have had a Stone Reaver, a Sound Reaver, a Fire Reaver, which we have, a Water Reaver, a Sunlight Reaver, and 2 Storyline Reavers that I will not talk about here.
Oh, let's not tease the audience over something that will never ever come up in the series. Okay. Wink.
Wait, were you serious or were you sarcastic?
Let's go with sarcastic.
Okay then. I have already teased everyone, so too late.
Oh, I forget it. I watch these videos as they come out, and I forget them forever.
Fair enough. Well, there will be videos where I talk about it. There are cut content videos that are planned, although it takes an incredibly long time to make them. But they are planned, and they are in works. The first one is about Tyrell.
Okay, well, fuck me running then.
And this is the first Eldritch Energy power-up, and for a while it's gonna be the only one we have.
With this artifact, your glyph energy capacity is increased.
Up to 14 now.
And this Eldritch power-up is actually a pain to get, in that you don't have the depth perception here, and it's incredibly difficult to figure out where do you need to jump to get it. But even this I managed to get in the first try.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got the Eldritch Energy upgrades. I think I grabbed a couple of the glyphs when I played through. But, yeah.
Well, they're also completely unnecessary, and I never actually bothered with them too. I basically looked at the walkthrough before doing this.
Fair enough.
Because it's completely unnecessary to progress.
I was there when this game first came out. We didn't have game facts yet.
And we didn't have YouTube.
No, of course not.
Now we're making quasi walkthroughs based on other walkthroughs and talk over them.
So meta.
And now imagine someone watching this in a couple of years and making their own walkthrough based on this.
Well, if this guy can do it, I certainly can.
Well,
on whatever's coming next.
Yeah, and he or she would not be wrong.
Yahoo video.
By the way, this is what I think is one of the most retarded non-block puzzles in the game.
Oh, I remember this one.
It involves a bell, this mallet in Raziel's hand, and hitting the bell with a mallet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it even looks like a musical note. Aww.
And now this is stupid. This is something you don't freaking figure out. Like, how someone's supposed to figure this out, I have no idea.
I forgot this part.
It would have made sense if the game was not limited by the PS1 draw distance, but it is. Also, the mallet often falls on the ground to the lower level, so I got lucky here.
Raziel carrying the Olympic torch.
Except without the
Good
fire.
to see the committees. Good to see the Olympic Committee survives into Nosgoth's horrific future.
I wonder what their doping situation is.
Does vampire blood count as an illicit substance? Seems to be a pretty common way of life these days. Or unlife.
Yeah, but as far as I know, the vampiric blood is useless to Nosgoth's vampires, unlike human blood, meaning that they need human blood to sustain themselves. Where did I read this? 1 second, I'm trying to remember. It was one of those blog posts for Nosgoth.
Ah.
Yeah. Where they were talking about the fall of Raziel.
Yeah, they were probably all just put to the torch or something.
The reason why I don't jump down instantly here is that it seems to be a little faster to glide. Okay, now we're done with the Silenced Cathedral for a while, and the next stop is the most massive puzzle in the game, which is the one for the Sunlight Glyph. You remember it?
Only vaguely.
Well, to be honest, I didn't remember it at all. But now I remember every single thing in there.
Oh yeah, you went through it, what, 7 times
No,
you said?
4. I tried recording it
Oh,
7
okay.
times, but I played through this 4 times. This is the 4th time. And the first time around, it took me maybe 45 minutes.
Oh, this is mean.
Yeah, and this is what the sound glyph does. It just stuns everything.
Probably not as useful, but it's cheaper.
Yep. And yes, it's possible to go over here without the ability to swim, but then this conduit, it never shows up, and you just end up in a dead end.
Huh. Oh, right, because it's underwater.
Yep. So basically the swimming ability doesn't just give you the ability to swim, it also spawns a bunch of conduits in underwater areas.
Right, I remember you said that in the Rahab video.
Yep. Because that's where the first such conduit appears.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here.
Is it weird that Raziel just kind of swims like a dolphin?
He kind of...
I mean, he was human, so, you know, a mammal.
Yeah. Well, he did get this ability from Rahab, and Rahab and Rahabim, they swim like this. So maybe it's this. Besides, it is possible
I'm trying to think of their character models now, because didn't they have vertical fins like, or Rahab at least, kind of like a shark?
Yes, Rahab had one fin instead of his lower body, while the Rahabim, they have actual legs which both end in fins. And they stand on them like on high heels. And they swim the same way Raziel does. Besides, it's not impossible for a human to swim like that, it's just very slow and inefficient.
Exactly.
By the way, we never addressed how this place is filled with Turilim.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that. It's like, what are the other places? You had the Tomb Guardian and then these guys.
And
I think that's the only places it shows up.
yes, I'm not sure if I remember everything, but I don't think there are any other Turilim in the game. Which kind of does make sense, but also kind of doesn't. Does because, well, why not? Since it's an optional bonus area, then why not here? But it also doesn't make sense because, well, your generic vampire species Dumahim, why not put them here?
Well, I could put a few pieces together knowing what I know, but that'd be venturing into spoiler territory. Once those parts come up, well, one of them won't for a while, then I could probably post it in the thread.
Yeah. Or if the scheduling allows us, we could just do this again.
Oh, well, that works too. But I'm talking stuff that's not going to show up until Defiance.
Well, I am gonna do Defiance.
Well, I know, so I'm just saying it's a ways down the line.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should not have made separate threads for the Legacy of Kain games. I should have made the Legacy of Kain mega thread. But it's too late.
I think that's what Judas did when he LP'd the games.
Oh, that was long before I was a goon, so I don't know about that.
Well, his was a screenshot LP with some YouTube videos of the cutscenes. So you're one up on him there.
There aren't actually that many LPs of Blood Omen for some reason, the first one.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
Although it's a pain, it's a phantasmagorical pain in the ass to run, especially on a modern system.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've had a pain in the ass just trying to run DOS games on my system, even with DOSBox.
And then recording them.
Mm-hmm.
Although, for some reason, Blood Omen was much easier to record for me than Soul Reaver.
Weird.
Yeah, because Soul Reaver I had to run through 4 different softwares before I got it to record.
Okay, now I remember this.
Yeah, this is actually the best block puzzle in the game, because it just involves putting the block in there. Although it's not obvious, because what you have to do is you have to basically turn on the gas. And then don't let it turn off. The pipes over there in the upper part of the screen, these fires, you see them?
Yep.
This means we're now supplying the gas to the lighthouse.
Oh, Raziel, the pipes are calling.
Wait, what?
I was just making a pipes joke. Song.
Well,
Oh, Danny boy.
Well, there will be more pipes. There is another block puzzle in the second part of this puzzle. But this one is also not as bad as the ones in the Silence Cathedral or the block puzzles that are later in the mandatory parts of the game.
Okay, I remember these platforms specifically.
Yeah, and as I jump on them, I try to take a look at what the lighthouse itself looks like, but too late. But basically, what it the light is on, but it's not focused in the right direction. So now we have to focus it where the sunlight glyph, the sunlight forge, is. And as you can see, I still did not get hit once.
Well done, well done.
But I do get hit here, in the very, very end.
No.
That's what I was thinking too when I, well, got hit.
Alright, pack it up, revert to your last save. We're doing this.
Well, that's what I did 3 times before that when it did not record. This is why Fire Reaver is awesome. Normally the Turalim there are strong. They adults and fledglings alike, they take a lot of punishment otherwise.
Oh yeah, the fledgling Doomaham I think only took 1 shot to set on fire. The elder ones took 2. And that Turalim took 3. So I guess they're the tank, probably more powerful than Duma.
Yep. Turel is the 2nd lieutenant.
Yes, and then Duma, I think.
Yeah, Duma is the 3rd, and then we have no established order, but we can assume that Rahab was the 4th and Zephan the 5th, and the last one was Micaiah. But Rahab and Zephan, there is no definite information about that.
Yeah, that fits standard video game logic of killing your way up through the hierarchy.
Yeah. And that is how it would have continued in the game, in the cut part of the game too. And this is the part where I always got hit in my previous playthroughs of this part, but not this time. Because he's impossible to shoot.
You were ready for him.
Yeah. Here I first think that I should start solving the puzzle from the get-go, but then I decide to show what happens when I turn this switch without solving the puzzle. And now it's time to move more blocks.
Because it's a Soul Reaver game.
Yep.
Wouldn't be one without block movement.
But thankfully this one is honestly not bad. When we're talking about the block puzzles getting progressively longer and longer, we're talking about the mandatory ones. Because the ones in the later, well, real section, important sections, these ones will get long and sometimes unfair. And here, there are only 4 blocks, nobody's jumping you, so it's not bad.
Yeah, I wonder why. What made them not spawn enemies for this one?
I have absolutely no idea.
Let's see. Raziel's doing platforming, and now he's doing plumbing. Can we get him a blue shirt and red overalls?
There's probably a mod or a hack for that.
I wouldn't put it past him. The modding community is weird.
Yeah, although, to be fair, Soul Reaver is mostly broken down and not modded. The hacking that's done for Soul Reaver is mostly there to find cut stuff.
Yeah, that's where all the stuff on Lost Worlds
Yep.
came from. I was reading over that last night.
So was I.
Well, you gotta do something on the night shift.
Oh, speaking of the Lost Worlds, I actually read, I think about an hour ago, and I completely forgot about it. This area, the lighthouse area, it was actually the area in the very first demo version for Soul Reaver that was released for the PlayStation 1.
I think I remember that. I think my brothers and I played it on a disc that we got in like EGM when that was still a thing. Yeah, there were a couple of demos, and one of them was Soul Reaver.
Yeah, that was a time when there were demos, when the demos did not always include the content that would show up in the game, in the final game.
Well, yeah, they just had to get the product out there, get a buzz going.
Yeah.
No matter how much it's going to change, you got to get people talking about your new title.
Yeah, and it was also the same with box arts, because they would often make the box arts before they would actually make the final release version of the game, and so they would sometimes have screenshots that never showed up in the final game. Good times.
And so much changed in games back then. Like from the early alpha builds. Now it's just like, hey, this is exactly what we're doing. We're just going to make it look better.
And the way to generate buzz is to make offers on pre-ordering.
Mm-hmm.
And DLCs.
This has been your commentary on the gaming industry episode, folks. Oh.
Yeah. And I knew that he was coming too. I just tried to shoot him when I should have just used the glyph. Now this is actually this.
And as I recall, you can't use a torch to imbue the Reaver.
No, you can't. Nor can you use the braziers. You have to use a large fireplace.
That's weird.
Now this is actually the stupid part, because the first thing that you think is that you have to go back to the lighthouse and just stop it in place, but no. So this thing opens up a bit like an eye when you're in the physical realm for a second. And by the way, I checked, and yes, you do actually have to time it when it's open.
Makes sense. Got the Triforce on the wall back there. Good to see.
I'm pretty sure that it's not supposed to be the Triforce.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is. It can't fool me.
And now we have a whopping 28 points of Eldritch Energy. Because this...
Mostly for just fueling the fire glyph.
Exclusively for that. But I do... the reason why this video does not yet end is that I want to actually show off the Sunlight Glyph. Now listen. It goes through the walls, yes.
Well, with all the other clipping issues, why not this one too?
Yeah, and now I will show off how it works when you
Sorry, Frank, didn't see you there.
Yeah, I hoped that the Turlim respawned, and thankfully he did. Yeah, it just kills all the vampires outright, but it's not harmful to humans.
Oh, that's good.
And this is it.
Alright, see you next time.
Bye.